Good evening. It's me, Angie from Learn Love Tarot, here to bring us messages of the best and highest good here for tonight, using the energies of the daily moon cycle and of the planetary aspects surrounding us, and how they might affect your birth chart is going to depend where these planets are visiting your birth chart right now. Even though this was filmed for you guys today here, this message is timeless as energy is cyclical. So whenever you find the message, do know that there is something in here for you, even if it's just to pass on and share it with somebody else. And if you do decide that anything in today's message contained information that was useful to you, I do appreciate you double tapping that screen, hitting the like button, and coming in and joining our tribe by clicking on the subscribers button. And make sure you go ahead and click that notification bell so you know whenever I pop on here live. Now, I want to talk about this next 6-month cycle with the new moon energy in Libra. It's very, very strong. So we are going to be looking at how that energy moving forward will be then opposing the moon here. The sun will be opposing the moon in 6 months from now. So whatever seeds we are planting right now, especially involving one-to-one partnerships, what we want to feel, what we want to achieve, any doors that need closed so that our hands can be open from spirit to receive. And we have here the sun energy of the 19 and new moons. It's when we come down to the bottom of that lunar coaster and we get ready to start a new beginning as soon as that light of the crescent moon starts waxing crescent again. So we are going to be looking at an energy here of appreciating even all the hard lessons. This is what is surrounding us. And she's in a bunch of brambles here surrounding her, and she's appreciating the rose. Even though it has thorns on it, it is still very beautiful. She's holding a handkerchief there, so that may denote that she has poked herself with that thorn, and maybe she is bleeding there, or maybe this is having a new appreciation for some kind of struggle that you've been through, especially one of the heart, especially one of the heart here. So that broken heart energy beat coming in as a 9. This is what's on repair, and we can have an appreciation for those things that hurt because they show us in effect by showing us what we don't want. And then we can understand better what we do want. Now, this energy today is very interesting. I got the song. I wasn't even sure. I thought it might be Sting, but just the first, I can't stand losing. With today's date having a vibration of the master builder here, the 22 number is a master number along with 11s and 33s. And when we add those two together, it is the vibrational frequency of the Emperor, Mars energy affecting Aries and Scorpio as the guide to those signs and those houses in the first house and in the 8th house. That's a stable, grounded, very firm energy. It can be very stubborn, especially if we get a reading today with the Emperor and not the Empress. First thing this morning here on my new screensaver that I haven't seen before at 10:42 a.m., which was a 16, and I immediately thought of, it's just this little island with all these big trees. I am a rock. I am an island. And I jotted a note down for myself saying the tower may be blowing up, Loneliness Island. So what also is interesting is that this studio album it's the Police. It was their first debut album, and it was released November 17th of 1978, which was a year of change, breaking down to a 7 of the Chariot of change and growth, going a new direction. I have listed here, you can compare your birth chart here to see how the cosmos right now are affecting your chart, using those numbers there to compare to the ones you have in your chart. And then the big news, the big energetic news is that Neptune has backed its asterisks up here out of Aries and backwards into Pisces. And what that looks like is we have moved from the first house cusp and backed up there from 1 degree Aries to 30 degrees Pisces, which out of 360 Sabian symbols, 360 total degrees. Each pie piece is 30 degrees, and there are 12. This is the culmination of the big lessons. Okay, so it's the last of the 360 Sabian lessons. And Neptune, the planet of dreams and imagination, is going to that 360th lesson, or its last lesson of Pisces, which is called the Great Stone Face. The Emperor sits upon a throne of stone. And that is about becoming whatever we idealize. So this 10 of Cups energy now and Neptune will now join Daddy Sadie. Daddy Sadie is Saturn, and that is all about the harvest moon, where we are it's kind of spirits holding our eyes open and making us look at what we desire, because we are to become whatever we idealize in that very last lesson. And when I was drawing or sketching this image here, it's like we are dreaming and double change here. So reverse, reverse, right? And then I was like, is that the Cupid Shuffle? But it is not. It's a whole different wedding dance song. And I don't normally get wedding dances, but it's a fun whole party dance where everybody can join in. And this is like an energy of, even if you can't dance, you can do the Cupid Shuffle, right? And we do have Cupid that just moved into Virgo as well. It's at the 30-degree mark there. And that's about rejecting the false and discovering unusual powers of concentration. Now, with today's energy totaling 41, that's a 5 energy. 5s are change. It's the Hierophant. So I was like, oh, duh, Hierophant can show weddings, because that can be inefficient, right? And then to sister with that Hierophant energy, we have the energy of Temperance here, the puzzle piece. The asteroid Diana has also hasn't reversed, it's moved on into 30 degrees as well. So now we have the second out of 3 components here, energies that are moved into 30. And oddly or not oddly enough, 30 Sagittarius, the lesson is symbolized by the Pope. So even more kind of peace be with you, efficient energy here. Diana, the asteroid, is all about independence, freedom, and sometimes single child-free women. And the lesson here of we find as personal representing idea we have. So not only do we have Daddy Sadie making us look and making us learn this lesson at a vibration of 88 with the 26 degrees 17 minutes, we also have Neptune, the planet of dreams, joining in on that 10 of Cups. Now, Temperance energy is going to be the 10 of Wands. It's going to require us to set down what no longer serves. You've already done the work, and now it's just you've got your eyes on the prize, and it's setting some last things down. Also curious, 41 years ago would have been 1984. Let me know in the comments what you were doing in 1984. And just coincidentally, it happened to be a 22 year, also a master builder energy, or a 4 of the Emperor. Again, we don't know if he's going to. I think maybe the Emperor might be getting off his throne here, getting off his asterisks. Maybe he's doing the Cupid Shuffle. Maybe somebody grouchy is trying to finally open their eyes to something. And when I came and saw that 88, That is a very auspicious number, 88 keys in a piano. Okay. And I thought of I Keep on Falling, which is Alicia Keys' song. And this could be here a profound test of whether we can find balance. That could be we know what we keep falling for over and over and over again. And this is about saying goodbye. This next 6 months, guys, we're here now. And by the time of the full moon in Aries, this relationship test, one on one relationships, can we really set down what does not work or let go of whatever we've been waiting on to happen forever because we've been putting the power in someone else's hands? This is about our own sun, about our own rest and rejuvenation. So when we're at the bottom of this roller coaster here, we've got 6 months to build what we want out of one-to-one relationships. And that starts with, of course, our own yin and yang, our own balance with self. And again, do note this reverse, this double change energy there. Now, because this is such a big deal in Pisces, why it's such a BFD is because that's the house of the soul's journey. It's the house of our undoing, where we pull apart the yarn, the ball of yarn that we are at this moment, and we keep pulling on that thread until we get to the bones of why we may be unhappy, or why we get to the bones of why we keep falling for the same pattern over and over again. Okay, so this is the reading before the reading. I'll be posting these a little bit later after my meeting tonight. But that third energy that was at 30 degrees was, again, we have Diana, we have Cupid in the sky. Those are both asteroids where we reject the false, we let it blow up. And then again, with that lonely island, I feel like we're blowing up Loneliness Island here. So I don't know if anybody out there's feeling that way. Maybe that's why you need some little rest and recovery here. And you're appreciating the lesson. We're appreciating the rose for its beauty. And when we do that with this new moon energy, we say goodbye to sneaky control issues and we face what's hard. That's going to be different for everybody. What's hard for you? So let's see what we got here. When we face what's hard head on, we're going to get that daddy saddy reward. We are gifted a clean slate. So if you want a new, if you've been feeling like you're an island all on your own, a team of one, I feel like that energy, yep, oh my gosh. And talk about that double emperor energy there with today's date being a 22 master builder. If we've been feeling lonely, we are saying goodbye to regret and to any lessons that we do not need to learn anymore, especially ones that have been hidden in our own moon out of fear. This is all about what traps us. I keep falling in and out of love with you. This could be a habit. It could be some kind of dynamic. It does not have to be a love dynamic, but most likely with Libra energy, it's the house of one-to-one relationships. A new romantic cycle begins. What do we want to build in those 6 months? What is our dream? What do we need to honor, respect, and forgive within ourselves and within the dynamic of that other person so that we can walk towards our lighthouse here? This is a lot. These are best friends, but they know they are two different species. She cannot go and live under the water no more than that Selkie can come and live in the lighthouse with her, but they're not focusing on that. They're saying their goodbyes. She's not staring at those broken 3 cups in regret. She's seeing the wisdom here. She's appreciating the lesson. Thank you, teacher Hierophant, the guru, the shaman, the guide. I understand how this grew my heart. 11:38 there. It's my lucky number. We just had the 4th chakra day yesterday. So wherever the moon will affect that house and affect our emotions there. So this is really interesting here. So the emperor is getting up off his stone throne here. And I was joking when I said, well, maybe the emperor is getting off his ass, getting off that stone throne. Maybe there's an emperor that's been on an island as well, and they're following their intuition here. And by the time of the full moon, even if we feel like we're stuck right now and we're trapped in our fears, this is about going, I'm going to follow my intuition. I am going after that with emperor energy. By the time that 6 months full moon in Libra hits, full moons are when the moon will be opposite of the sun. It'll be the Aries sun. And it's right here. We did have those two 22s show up today. And this is with passion, with a new excitement. And this feels like a healed energy. Let's see what oh, wow. What was hidden? What happens if we do face what's hard, especially any control issues, because without the Empress energy, if we've got all yang, then we get a crab ass emperor. So perhaps what we're resting and rejuvenating and recovering from is this goodbye energy. Okay, so if that's you, I'm reaching out and giving you a big energetic hug right meow, because I can tell you in 6 months from now, this hard work of you facing whatever this is that's hard to face, whatever we are fearing and afraid of, we face it head on. We've got wish fulfillment here at the end of that 6 months. Let's see. There's our other energy of temperance that I just went over in my notes. This is very literally alchemizing pain into wisdom, and we did see that pain kind of hovering there, appreciating. Maybe you're not at the place yet where we can appreciate the messages or the learning that a broken heart shows us. I mean, this is heartbreaking here. The Five of Cups is hard. We do have, this is the first deacon of Scorpio here, represented by the Five of Cups. And at 11:50 tonight, we change there over into the sun moves into Scorpio. So this is where we're at right now. Okay. And after that broken heart, 32, there's our Five of Change. And there's peace there. When we do that forgiveness work, the gate opens up for us and the world is our oyster. Okay. So just know that if we are trying to kind of tamp out old relationship habits, this is the 6 months to do it. If you're wondering if you've been afraid to say goodbye to this, this is the time to do it, because energetically, we're going to have a little push from the universe. We're going to have help making these changes and building that new coaster for 6 months. Okay. So this is literally where we are today in the energy temperance there coming in. And let's see what we have here with our Six of Wands. There's the victory over our fears. We have the 10 of Pentacles. That is here something, look at that moonlight shining down on the pinnacle of Pentacles. This is everybody that we know and love. This includes the 10 of Cups energy, again, which we have 3 energies in the sky happening right now for. And then we have that Diana asteroid again, the Pope energy backing that up. So whatever is hidden in the moon, or whatever we know and perhaps have not taken action on, this is something current in our lives that we are going to have a new victory with when we take that pain and alchemize it into wisdom. It's beautiful, and it's really beauty is painful too. Okay, it's a beautiful disaster sometimes. Now, the Eight of Wands, more Saggy energy there with that Temperance coming up. And this is about really using those leadership skills. The up portion of the moon every month for 2 weeks is Emperor energy. The full moon hits, we release our hands, throw them up on the roller coaster, and say we, because that is the result of what we've built for those 2 weeks. But this is a long coaster. This is a 6 months one. And when we reach that sun at the top, that's opposing the moon in Aries, then we get to throw our hands up and say we and enjoy what we have built. Now, this might be two people here with this Two of Swords energy. This is all about equally dueling energies, okay? And with the Knight of Wands, again, Sag energy there. A lot of fire here, Leo, Sag, and Sag. And then we've got that Aries energy. This could be that decision point. Okay, well, now that we've learned what we've learned, we are coming out of that hermit mode now that we have gone and built everything that we've been trying for. And this is learning the lessons here. So, what are we learning? Four of Swords. That's the last lesson of Libra. The full moon in Libra will be hitting Four of Swords, the deacon here. And this is willingly putting ourselves in a place of healing because of our own self-examination of the path that we have taken thus far. This is a whole new start, guys. Yep, there's Libra again, just to confirm what I just said. Queen of Swords. We've learned the lesson of discernment here, especially regarding Three of Swords. We know that most of that is just in our mind, and we do have the Empress energy. So I want to keep pulling more to see why. And there's the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. Independence. It's the reason I mentioned the asteroid Diana, because it's about independence. That is all about freedom, and it can really just be literally single child-free women. So I would be paying attention to that in your chart. Let's go ahead and see what we are pairing these energies up with here. Don't normally do my readings like this, but we is today, apparently. Okay. All right. So what we're healing are things, any relationships. Again, this is Scorpio energy here. And as we enter this month, this is really a month to use that discerning energy. This could be again, more Scorpio here. Scorpio, double Scorpio. Wow. And surrounding that is this healing energy. So this might be a month of healing for us here. And what are we healing? Again, a two energy, indecision. The 22s have showed up. And then this playfulness returns, even though we may feel like an island or are an island or are in a single energy. It's with a whole new attitude here. This is discernment about love. The King of Cups is balanced in his head and his heart. He's the only king showing up here, but remember that the emperor is all for kings. Miss Judy Jude, how are you? Hi there. I was just in the zone. I wasn't sure if anybody was going to show because I had to pop on here really quick tonight and head out before my 7 o'clock meeting. So, let's see what this is all about here. I want to look at what questions. What are we healing from with this rest and rejuvenation? What is past? See these energies here. These animals have passed away, and there's another Selkie here. So whatever you're saying goodbye to, this is definitely an energy of cutting off, holding on to any pain, any resentment. This is a big forgiveness energy, and we are taking that lesson and moving forward, especially with season following Scorpio season here. We got Scorpio season showing up big time. All right, let me go ahead and ask. I want to see what this Selkie is representing here. What is this noun, person, place, thing, idea, thoughts? What are we releasing and letting go of in order to transform by the full moon in Libra in 6 months? Okay, we are transforming. We're saying goodbye to indecision on our actions. This is the third two, guys, all about pairs, yin and yang. And this is about making that decision before the volcano blows. Let's see what we've got fueling that. Yeah. In a balanced energy, when our yin and yang, the twos, is balanced, divine timing is activated. Thanks for listening while driving, Kathy. Appreciate you. Really do. Thanks, girl. Wow. Okay. So if you really use this 6 months here, this is the treasure buried into the bottom of the ocean. Two of Cups. We've had all four of our fours show up now. Wow. Okay. I'm just going to keep going in layers, guys. Let me see here what we have pairing up with that. And that was there. Boom, boom. Our Two of Wands goes with that Ace of Pentacles. What's coming here with the Two of Cups? Because we released this, we weren't still hanging on to the bumper. We gave it the respect, thank you, teacher, that was due. We can then fully recover because we're alchemizing that hurt. And this deck, the 10th sword, the painful part has already been done. So it's about releasing that emotion from our body in the mermaid deck. Okay. And then look what comes on in. The last of our twos here. And that's the one we were waiting for. So this Page of Cups energy, again, more water. Neptune's going to be retrograding back into Pisces for quite a while. But this is literally what changes here. What we are leaving behind is indecision and then being afraid to take action on our intuition, going after it like a boss, like an emperor. And we did have the Empress show up for that. An Empress will show up for a balanced emperor, just not an out of balanced one. What fears are my learning lovers conquering here with that victory card? What are the fears that are being conquered here? I agree with you, Judy. What fears are being conquered? The 8, and I mentioned the 88 coming up for us, making us look at our own patterns. So if she had not taken the time, this is the High Priestess energy. We've been afraid. That's been what's putting us in our cage to follow our intuitive guidance here. And the reason why that is going to be individual for everyone. But this is the High Priestess of the sea, the great whale. And she has meticulously, one little piece at a time, cut away this net, cut away this fear. And had she not taken the time to do that, this High Priestess energy would have never gotten to the surface to be able to take a new breath. Okay, so this is a lot of work here. Again, it's that two vibration of partnership, of duality, and of yin and yang energies, and then taking action on them. We do have the balance of the Emperor and Empress here. It's like we're finally able to, again, in this new moon, if we can say goodbye to those sneaky control issues and face, you guys have to figure out, like literally right this second, answer it without thinking. It's going to be literally the first fraction of a second. What is it that's hard? What's hard to face head on? Because if we do, we get this gifty from Daddy Sadie. Let's see what's surrounding in the energy, what we unpack in here now. Oh, just the lovers, yin and yang. looking at our own selves. This in this deck, this figure is looking at herself, but in a whole new world. She's moving, that she knows this old way. She's not going to go live in the ocean. Selkie is not going to live on land with her here. And we saw where this Selkie has passed on. And this deck, the death energy is from the carelessness of humans, right? And when we ignore our higher self, we are then being careless with our own energy. And we don't get to discover then with new eyes this new love energy. Pisces energy there, especially, he's supposed to be paying attention to how to become the high priestess. He's supposed to be looking into that bowl of water to scry. And he's like, oh, look, a fish, kind of that squirrel energy. But when he gets focused, when he turns into the night, his full Pisces energy, that is where this treasure has been buried all along. That is when divine timing is activated. We no longer have to wait for something to blow up. That to me kind of might be just as an example. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced someone doing this to you, but they become a real jerkhead to try to abscond the responsibility of doing the breakup. They just turn into a jerk. So you'll break up with them. Have you ever had that happen? And because they don't want to blow it, right? They don't want to be the one. They don't want to be at fault. And I'm sure at one point or the other, we've all done that as well, but it was subconscious, right? So that could be something, for example, that we're pulling up into our conscious thought that we are releasing. We can do the hard work. It's whatever is hard to face. Okay. And then the gifty of that unpacking that strength energy, looking at our own monster under the bed, digging deep into the subconscious. And then here comes the lover's energy. We've got this whole 6 months of that roller coaster to build what it is that we want. Why am I getting the wedding song today? The Cupid Shuffle. Maybe it's simply just our feelings, but that is where that asteroid is now in 30 Virgo. It is about rejecting the false. Okay, that's what it's all about. Okay, judgment. I've written about this for a few days in a row, that 20 energy, this resurrection. This is karma here, balance, past life energies, past life issues coming to the surface. And we have this nautilus shape here, and we're learning. We are learning about how our past has come back in repeated patterns because we're the common denominator. And Virgo energy, I was just talking about Cupid and Virgo. It's about a false call, unheard. She's very paying attention only to what she's writing down. Okay. She's only paying attention to that. This is building something new in teamwork here. You're going to be building a whole new Ace of Cups. Can't make it up. Ooh, and it's sexy. Okay, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. All right, any other messages here? Okay. This is about emotional fragmentation is a good place to start, but I don't want to be that two of wands person that has to make the decision, because what if I should have held on to it? What if there's an electric eel there that's going to sting me if I choose this or that, one thing or the other? Well, that's this thing called life, right? That's what it's all about. We have to make the decisions and take charge of our own destiny here. Yeah, our own 10 of cups, the community we build, the family, not that we're born from necessarily. This is the family that we build, friendships, the community we're building here together. Okay. There's help out there. You are not alone. You don't have to be a rock in an island all the time, because there are people that can help you with these kinds of confusing energies. All right. Yeah. Whatever's been underneath the surface here. I know the electric eel. I like him too. Um, this truth here that's buried, it's going to be coming up for review here. This is about being the observer. They're just thoughts, guys. It's just a pattern. Just look at it from a place of not judging yourself. It's not about that. We're humans learning our lessons. That's what we came here to do. And a lot of that has to do with focusing on what it is that our heart wants, building that within our own selves and all the people we choose as our family. And then when that lover's energy comes in, especially at the top of 6 months, if you're doing this, starting this work now, that is a place of where we can be more flexible and be more relaxed. I mean, look how calm she is. She's not worried. She's not hemming and hawing back and forth about a decision here. She sways and goes with the winds of the palm tree. And speaking of the full moon in Libra and the sun being in Aries, this is the last time I saw this kind of sky was when we had that Aries eclipse a couple Aprils ago. Okay. That could be what's coming in here, that new balanced energy. All right, let's get some advice for you all. Miss, hey, we had Kathy on the road. We got Miss Judy Jude. Thank you guys so much for being here. And look at that. I drew the little key inside that temperance energy because we had Diana, the asteroid, move into that test. So I didn't even realize I grabbed the fairy deck, but there's double keys here coming out. Oh, wow. You felt like you lost yourself a little bit. This is about rediscovering yourself. There's one cup spilt here, and it says, "What was once lost is about to be found." Digging into the subconscious. This is the time to do it. Sometimes she can help us find things we never even realized were lost. Okay, there's a Persian cat hair there. Cats signify independence, and there's our moon energy for our advice. And there are a couple bird feathers here adorning her beautiful gown. And it says, "Surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life." If you're feeling confused, this fairy comes to calm emotions and reassure you that peace of mind is possible. We don't have to live here. Okay, we trust our intuition. And there's our going outside. It's time to go outside and tune into the powerful peace of nature wherever you are and feel at one with your own habitat. The trees talk to us, the animals, whatever shows up when you walk outside and say, "Okay, spirit, what gifts do you have for me today?" They will show up. And go home and look up those spiritual significances of those animals, and you will definitely get a message there. Environmental energy, and the very least, be inspired. Be prepared, as you'll soon receive a visit from the fairy of inspiration. Come dusk or dawn, she can call at any time. And she's got some dragonfly wings there. Beautiful energy to see that rainbow energy there. So if you feel like you lost yourself, you got lost in the sauce a bit, for however long, what we are digging into is going to be found. We just need to not be afraid of things that go bump in the night, and certainly not about what we need to unpack within our own patterns, because that is the way to move into this full moon. I mean, that couldn't be more perfect for the reading we got here today, and I'll be posting those notes a little bit later. But thank you, beautifuls, for being here with me. I really appreciate you. And I will sign off for now and catch you on the next one. Bye bye and much love.